IrisVision family. Hope you're having a good Friday. Today we have a client spotlight with one of my clients who really impressed me. His name is Kerry Keepers. Kerry, you want to say hi?
Hi, how you all doing?
Good. And that's Kerry Keepers. I coached him and he taught me a lot about himself. He does a unique hobby with the IrisVision. And I hope you're all having a good Friday. And let's learn about Kerry. So Kerry, tell me a little bit about yourself, your eye condition and when it started.
Well, I'm retired. I've done a lot of different things, worked in the entertainment business for a while, and then ultimately drove a truck and had to retire because of my vision. I developed cataracts and macular degeneration that started about 10 years ago. I had the cataracts removed and eventually reached a point where I couldn't see well enough to drive anymore. So um, I did some looking around and found that IrisVision was a really good alternative. So that's what got me here.
Very good. And you've been using it for a while. I coached you a while ago. So he was an entertainer. You told me you did a little bit of everything pretty much in truck driving. We all know how that feels, right? IrisVision family, having a job, having a career, and then your eyesight starts to go sour and you have to medically retire. But the good thing is it's not the end of the world, right, Kerry?
Oh no, it's not. I make the best of this.
Good. So tell us a little bit about how you got into model building and how you can continue with it with the IrisVision.
Oh well, that goes that goes way back. I started building models when I was about 10 years old. While I was still working, I spent about 30 years collecting models for my retirement.
Nice.
And I was a little despondent when I found out that my vision was going. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I got all this money invested in all this stuff I was going to do when I retired. So IrisVision changed that. And so I was able to renew my efforts and I was able to do the detail work that I like to do. With today's technology too, there's a lot of new things with models, and I can do a lot better work than I used to when I was a kid.
Very good. So you want to show us a few of the models you've built, some projects you've
I,
done?
I'd be honored. Right,
Perfect.
I'm
Let's see
gonna
them.
show a couple that are under construction, and then I'll pan over to some of the ones that I've completed over the last couple of years.
Sounds
Here we
good.
go. You bet. Can you see that okay?
Yes. Very nice.
Those are the
Didn't want to
two
miss
under
this. I had to
construction.
zoom in.
This P40 I finished about a year ago. Then I got this silly little, what's called a Spitfire. I made one of these when I was a kid, so I was thrilled to get the model again as an adult. And a couple of smaller scale planes.
Wow.
A Messerschmitt BF 109 and a P51. Can you see that all right?
I can see it. Don't have my glasses, but I'm
Okay.
zoomed in to like 2.9 on my computer. So
And
I
then
believe
Superman.
down a little bit. Now, when you build these models, what mode are you usually using? I know you use scene a lot. Do you go into any of the task modes? Scene with bubble, bioptic?
Sometimes I use the bubble, but typically I use the scene more than anything else.
Okay. Very good. Man, that's some neat intro. You do all the painting all the way from the start of it to finishing, right?
Yes. Yes, I'm doing airbrush work now where I used to brush everything with a paintbrush when I was a kid.
Wow. I remember using an airbrusher.
Yeah, I had to build a paint booth and that sort of thing, but kind of challenging at first, but I've got a nice little area to work and it keeps me sane.
Very nice. And how long does it take you to do a intricate model like you do? I think we lost your video,
I've
but
spent,
go
uh-oh,
ahead. We can hear you.
see
Go
me?
ahead and keep going, Carrie.
Okay. I typically work on several at a time, so that's kind of hard to judge. Um, and sometimes I'll put it down for a week or two, or maybe even a month. I probably have about 8 or 9 months in that large P40 that I
Wow.
showed you guys. And but I've got 4 models going on right now. The 2 that you saw,
Mm-hmm.
um, they're both actually the same aircraft. They're both F4F Wildcats, but I have a very large scale A10 Warthog that I'm building, and it's in the
Mm-hmm.
earliest stages. I've got the wings and the fuselage done, and I've also
Wow.
got a very large scale P51 that I've been working on, and that's pretty far along. Um, but I've got some. I started that before I had the IrisVision, and so there's some things I need to fix on it that I'd messed up because I couldn't see what I was doing very well. That's one of the
But now
reasons I
you can
kind of
get it
put it down
fixed.
for a while. I got pretty discouraged. Oh yeah, it's just going to take some more effort. One of the things that I had to do was re-etch some of the panel lines and the rivet holes on the plane.
Right.
That was very discouraging when I realized I was messing those things up because I couldn't see well enough. But I don't.
Very cool.
It's not an issue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I do pretty well.
Yeah, it took me a while with the IrisVision to start seeing that I could, without depth perception, to magnify times 1. But you can overcome that. You really can. And I'm not saying walk with the device or drive with the device, of course, but overcoming depth
No,
perception
no.
to where you know how far your object is takes a little while. When we were coaching, we went over a little of that, reaching your arm out, stuff
Right.
like that, getting to know the distance. And then when you zoom in, of course, steadier movements, right? Keeping your head as steady as possible, little bit of movement,
Oh yeah.
avoiding the bumps and bruises, as we call it, all that movement in there. You've done great. Some of the models I've heard you talk about, Kerry even sent me one for my son. My son's interested in it, and he mailed me a model. And I'm telling you, it takes some time to do that, even for him. He's a Lego builder and a half, and he likes model things. This one was I like it, really making him think. When end product comes, I'll let you know. So show
Oh,
you,
wonderful. Well, there's some
let you do it.
wonderful resources out there as well.
There is. There is. And it gives me a chance to watch him. I can zoom in, see what he's doing. So that is really cool. Those are some nice planes. I don't know much about planes. I went to the Air Museum here in Arizona. I don't know if you've been there. Tucson Air Museum.
Anytime.
Yeah, that
Pima,
is.
been there many
Yeah,
times.
Pima. That's it. That is it. And I did
Right.
chaperone my son's field trip. I'm real picky on the ones because of my eyesight, which ones I chaperone, but that's all flat ground, right? You go out and see the hangars and then
Right.
go in. Some of those planes were
Well,
awesome.
I take lots. Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I
No, go
take
ahead,
lots of
Kerry.
pictures. I went to the Air Museum. I went to the Air Museum in Palm Springs, California, too. And I crawl all over the airplanes, not literally, of course, but I
Right,
get all
right.
around them if I can. I take pictures of everything, the landing gear, just so I have a ready reference. Plus the internet, I can do a search for a particular aircraft, and I don't just build planes. I build cars and ships and that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
I've got a load of tanks, and I'm working on a Sherman tank right now. But
That is really cool.
that's also a good thing. And there's even YouTube has instructional videos on particular
Right.
models, which is kind of nice.
I've always been into model building, especially when I was younger. I had 20/20 eyesight, right?
Mhm.
Up until 6 years ago. But
Me
I used
too.
to I started with the easy kits. Remember the snap-on, the snap together kits?
Oh yeah,
Bling,
you
bling,
betcha.
bling. A little cheaper. So I'd get those and then work my way up. But I haven't tried. I haven't tried with the IrisVision. So I'm looking forward to that. I do Lego building with my son, but that is very nice. That is a cool hobby. And the detail you put into that, those are awesome, Carrie. Very good job. And you said it takes you
My
a couple
pleasure. Say the
months.
word, and I'll send you another one.
All
Sorry.
right, no problem. It's all you, buddy. Spotlight. And then you do a little bit of script writing, don't you? You do a little bit of writing. Tell me about that.
I'm not so much anymore. I wrote a screenplay for a film, actually about 15 years ago, and it just kind of sat idle for a while. And finally, a producer picked it up. We've been in pre-production for this project for about 6 years. This pandemic thing has put a kibosh on it, but
Mm,
it looks like we're back on track. We got an investor in Texas that's very interested in the project, and that's been the biggest problem. Is being that we couldn't release something to a theatrical release made it almost impossible to fund.
Right.
But we've got some really good people on board. We got a good line producer out of Los Angeles, and it's starting to move ahead, which is good. We'll see what happens. I got the book published as well.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I didn't want to write the book. My producer said, "I want you to write the book." It's like, "Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Writing a script is one thing, but writing a book, my goodness." But it
It's a
turned
whole
out
different
okay.
story.
And, truly, you're so funny.
I don't know anything about it.
It turned out pretty good.
That
Thank
is
goodness I
awesome.
had a really good editor. Is all I have to say about that.
Really cool. Well, any advice for the IrisVision family out there that's using their device newly, getting into hobbies again?
Don't let anything restrict you.
Good.
If I can do this, what can you do?
Yeah,
I don't let the vision thing compromise my lifestyle, other than the fact
mm,
that you're not going to see me behind the wheel of a car. But
there you go.
um, I do what I want to do, which is nice.
Of course, we lost our sight, not our
I
vision, right?
correct. I went through a period of about 6 months where I was pretty despondent, and
Mm,
then I thought, no, I got years left, and I'm healthy, so
of course.
why not? Why not?
Yeah,
And
just a little bit
I've
of
got a
eyesight.
yeah. Plus,
Yeah,
I got this goofy Doberman that keeps me busy too.
I know that feeling. Dogs are always fun. Well, I want to thank you very much
All
for your
right.
time, Carrie, and it's so awesome. I'm glad we got to share your project building. His planes are intricate, very nice, and it takes a lot of work. And just wanted to have Kerry on here. I think he's a very special client, just as all the clients. If you guys have a talent like that, anything you want to share with IrisVision, please email us, send it in on Facebook. You can comment on this chat. We'd be really, really love to interview you and show your talents of what different people do with IrisVision. So again, remember, Kerry, we don't let anything hold us back, right? Go for it.
That's correct.
All right. Till next
That's
time,
correct.
it's James Pacheco and Carrie Keepers saying have a good Friday and have a great weekend from IrisVision. Sorry. We'll see you. Say bye, Carrie.
Take care. You guys take care.
You too. Thank you.